Listen, you better not let a four-time Formula One world champion hang around in a driver's title battle because he'll make you pay for it. And Max Verstappen did just that on Sunday at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. These are my three takeaways from the race. First one has to be Max Verstappen in this championship battle because I think he's right smack dab in it now. Let's start with that pass on Oscar Piastri. Verstappen not getting actually the greatest of getaways off the start, but I think Oscar braking just a little bit too early and then Max understanding that he had done that and just sent it right in was a remarkable thing, and just trying to sort it out and figure it out as you're trying to get through turn two. So a remarkable pass from Max Verstappen in this one. The track temperatures were quite interesting in this one because at the start of this race, they were actually quite high. And it looks similar to Miami. And we all saw what McLaren did to everybody at the Miami Grand Prix. But in this one in particular, what impressed me the most was Max Verstappen's management of the tire, because that is something that the team has been struggling with all season, and McLaren has been so good at. So a lot of us thought that McLaren were just going to run away with this one. And I think Verstappen did well with holding off the threats from Piastri, and then later in the race in Lando Norris. Norris trying to make a push towards Verstappen towards the end, but Max matching him lap for lap all the way through to the checkered flag. Extremely impressive. Heard from Andrea Stella following this one, and he felt that performance from Red Bull was very surprising for them. They didn't think Red Bull was going to be that fast this weekend, and Stella feels that Red Bull has taken a step forward with their car here at this race this weekend. So some big things may be coming for Red Bull later on. Red Bull did also bring some new details to their car for this weekend, in particular rear brake cooling. Again, I think trying to work on that tire management, trying to get the heat out of the tire so it doesn't degrade as much. And you know what? That's all that Max Verstappen has ever asked for from this team this season was, hey, just give me a car that is close to the McLaren and I'll take care of the rest. So what was looking like a McLaren versus McLaren drivers championship battle at the beginning of this season has turned into a McLaren versus Max Verstappen championship battle. So that is going to be extremely exciting as we get through Monaco and into Spain, which I think some big things will be coming for them. Takeaway 2 has got to be Charles Leclerc. Just what a raw deal he got on Sunday. Not only with the first virtual safety car, which I think just blew a smoking hole right through his race strategy, but also when the safety car came out and just not having enough tires left to take the stop. And that really put him in such a difficult position because Alex Albon just able to track Charles down. And here is where a bit of my issue is with the battle between the two of them. I've watched this back a few times, and the driver who's trying to go around the outside of someone in a corner to pull off a pass, I just think never works. Now look, I do understand there has been some changes in terms of the driving standards and how the drivers battle each other, but at the end of the day, when you're the driver going around the outside, you've put yourself in such a vulnerable position, and I really do feel if you are that driver, you have to have almost half a car length, I think, in front of the inside driver. And that didn't really happen here in this situation. And I think Charles was in the right in really just muscling his way past and Alex having to take to the gravel. I think the team asking Charles Leclerc to give the position back to Alex, I don't think that was the right thing to do there, because you're just conceding a spot without just letting the stewards decide. And I think that's what Charles was trying to do as he continue on in this race, was basically just leaving himself there and allowing the stewards to make the call on exactly what happened. Because he was on the radio when being told to give the position back, asking like, hey, like, what have I done wrong, etc., etc. And I think that's the signal for, you just need to let the stewards sort that out to either prove that I'm wrong or prove that they are right in that situation. Takeaway 3 is McLaren and them being correct in strategizing the season-long race and not today's race. During the safety car period when Lando Norris was behind Oscar Piastri and radioed back to the team saying that Piastri's tires were not looking the greatest, that's just Norris petitioning the team to make a swap at that moment. And I think the pit wall, just almost staying out of it in a ways, is helping a lot in terms of the bigger picture. Because McLaren is clearly letting both drivers race each other. And that's what they want. They do want to allow them to race each other. But it doesn't upset the driver harmony, because that may come later this season with difficult decisions that the team has to make, or it could come down to a difficult time where both drivers either collide with each other or have a controversial move on one another, and that driver harmony will get disturbed and upset. And I think McLaren did a good job at this moment right now, just not getting into it and not getting in the middle of those two. It was a strategic move by the team, and I think McLaren chose the bigger picture today and just let both drivers race each other. The Monaco Grand Prix is coming up next weekend. We're going to have everything here on TSN, so we'll talk to you all later.